Hello guys, welcome back to narsicloud.com. Today we'll be talking about the usage of EC2 instance in the cloud. So before diving into it, let's quickly recap what we have discussed in our last session. So we discussed how to create EC2 instance in AWS cloud and how to SSH into EC2 instance using the private key that's created at the time of EC2 creation. So that is a .pem file. So using that, we did SSH into the machine, and we were able to do some Linux commands. So today, with that knowledge, we'll be installing some server, for example, Apache web server on that EC2 instance, and then we'll create a sample HTML page under some folder, which is going to be looked by Apache web server, and then we'll be accessing that page from the browser. So that you'll get a end-to-end feel of the EC2 instance, what we can do with it. So that's the plan for today's session. So let's go to AWS interface. So here you see that in the last session we created this instance, and it's in running state. So let's do SSH into that machine. So here, so we have narsicloud pair.pm file here. So let's SSH into the instance. We have to provide the pm file, and then EC2 user at the public domain. So we SSH into that machine. Now we are in EC2 machine. So we have a few steps today. So basically this is the first time we did SSH into this machine, and so we would like to install Apache web server. So for now, don't worry about any of the additional tools that I'm going to install for this demo. So just focus on and try to understand the things that at AWS level, that how you are able to use the instance and how you can access that from the web from the browser. So just try to understand that point. So let me show you the diagram what I'm gonna show you explain you today. So if you look up here, this is our cloud, and we have been discussing this diagram since beginning. So this is the cloud, and we have one EC2 machine here, that hardware, and on this hardware EC2 instance, which is. So what the user did, he used this interface, and he went to the compute category. Under that, he clicked on EC2, and then he followed some steps, and then he created the virtual machine instance, which is EC2 instance on this hardware. So now this is in running state, like so. This is in running state. That means it's running on that hardware. Uh, and then now what we have to do, we have to install some software on this machine, so that and then we create the HTML page on this machine, so that we can access that page from the browser. So the user, he created the instance, and then this same user will be accessing the page from the browser. So that's what I'm going to show you in today's session. So now we finished up these steps in our last session. That's why we have that EC2 instance running. Now we have to do a couple of steps to create this HTML page on the server, and we'll be accessing that. So what are those steps? So this is the first time. Let's update repository with the latest software, yum repository, yum update y. So again, for now, just see these commands. These are the Linux commands, and what is yum repository and all that. If you have understanding, that's fine. If you don't know, let's leave it for now. Don't worry about it. I will be explaining about the Linux tutorials in the other video series. but for now just try to focus on the AWS level knowledge. So now we updated the repository, and this machine has got all the software loaded up into the repository. So and then the next step would be we have to install Apache web server. So in one line to say, it is a web server which could serve up the HTTP requests, and then it will give you the response. So in this demo we will be since we will be creating HTML page, so what that web server does is when we access our EC2 instance from the browser, it is going to that server is going to take that request and send you the HTML page in response to the browser. So for that we have to install sudo m install http d24. It's finished. So we install Apache web server. Now we need to start that. Sudo service httpd start. Now it's started. How do we make sure that it is started? Sudo service, let's check the status. Now it's running, and since we install and have it running, we have to do some other command which will make sure that whenever you reboot your machine, it will make sure that the service will be automatically started. So every time you don't have to run the sudo service http start every time you log into this machine or every time you restart this machine. So that command is check config. This is one of the utility to on Linux machine. Sudo check config, and then check config httpd on. So that command, what it does, it makes sure that your service is running when you log into this machine or when you reboot this machine. And you can also verify check config list httpd. So basically what it's saying is these are the levels. At these levels this is in on state. So for now don't worry about it. It's just just a HTTP process that is running in the background. So what does it mean by starting Apache web server? That is what it means. It is starting the HTTPD process, which will take the HTTP requests from that you send from the browser or anywhere else. It just takes the HTTP request and give you the HTTP response. So we are good with the server now, and we see that the server is running. So just with this these steps, without having to create even HTML page, you can just try to access this EC2 instance by using the public domain, and you'll see the Apache web server test page. By default it will serve you the Apache test page, so that you can make sure that okay, server is up and running. So let's go to the browser, and let's close all this. Don't need them. Now take the public domain, because right now it is open to the world, so that's why you're able to access with this public domain. So like I said in our last video, this is not how we're gonna create our EC2 instance and configure EC2 instances in the real time, but the creation process is same, but we won't be having this public IP address. We will just use the private IP which is not accessible to the world, but we'll be accessing that through our router network access control list. So we'll be going over all those details when we come to the network service. So for now, understand that we are trying to access the EC2 instance, how we can use it. So use this domain, public domain, and then paste it here. Now see, so you got the response. See, this page is being served by the Apache web server. So to show you that, let me go ahead and stop this httpd stop. it stopped, right? So now if you try to access this, so it can be reached. So you understand, guys? So this page has been served by Apache web server. So let's bring that service on again. Now it is starting. You got your page. So see how easy it is. So we're able to use our EC2 instance now by using the public domain address. So likewise, you can install whatever the software you want onto EC2 instance and then use it for your purpose. So now let me show you real quick. Instead of this page, let's go ahead. So Apache web server, by default it looks up into /var/www folder. If you create any HTML page inside that, it's going to serve you up that. So let's look into cd var www, and here you got HTML folder, and here it's nothing, right? So for now, let's create demo.html. Let's quickly create some sample HTML, right? And then here, welcome to narsicloud.com. Technology drives me, right? Let's quickly create this here. vi demo.html. Since this is an root folder, that's why you have to do sudo let me show you this. So this is root, so that's why you have to do that in using sudo. But if you would like to do with EC2 user itself, then you have to create a group and then add permissions to that to give access to this folder. So for now, just do sudo html and then sudo vi demo.html. Then I pasted that here. So I created the HTML page under /var/www/html folder, right? Now if I go access from here, if I say demo.html, it will show you your page. This is the page I put it into that folder, right? So this is very simple scenario that will show you how we can use our EC2 instance quickly, how we can access that from the browser, that means from the internet, right? So it's that easy actually. So how we are able to, so this is the HTTP request, right? So HTTP protocol, it always communicates on port 80, depending on if it is secure or non-secure. Non-secured HTTP goes on 80, and if it is secure, then it goes on 443. Since this is HTTP, it goes on 80, and we created our EC2 instance in the cloud. And how come by default EC2 instance is able to serve up the requests on 80? So there should be some security configuration, right? Where did we do that? So let's go to console, and here go to security groups. So this is our security groups. View inbound rules. See, we added 80 rule there. Maybe in our last video I wouldn't have added that, but you can always go ahead and add that here. So basically, let me show you from the beginning. EC2 dashboard, go here, and then here go to security groups, this is what determines what requests should come in, what ports are allowed to call this EC2 instance. And here inbound is, if you see, I created HTTP 80. I guess by default it would have that, but if you see if it doesn't have it, please go ahead and you can always edit and add rule to it, you know. So what I did, HTTP TCP protocol, it's allowing 80, right? So if you go ahead, if I remove that, now save it. Now with this inbound, let's try to access that page. Now it should fail. You can't see that because we removed that rule that which is allowing 80 port. So see, it's still connecting. Let me open the new page. See, it's not serving out, right? Because at the EC2 instance level, we removed that security group configuration, which is allowing 80 port. So it cannot be used. You can only do SSH because that inbound rule just has SSH rule. So let's stop this request and go back here and try to add new rule, custom TCP, and HTTP, and then the source, it could be coming from any machine, and port range 80. Save it. Now go back to console, top here, you got your page again. So it is that fast. So you could always make modifications to your security groups, the way you secure, and you can dynamically add ports to it. It is immediate effect. It takes that very immediately, and you can configure all the security rules on fly. So without even touching your instance, you come to security groups and you configure whatever you want. So this is just a simple example, but when we get into that section, security group section under network and security, I will go into the every detail of it, and what kind of configurations you can do, and what is the purpose of it, and how you can secure your EC2 instance, and all those details will be going over in our next video. But the intent of this video, you got it, guys. This is just to show you how to use the instance. Basically all I'm trying to do is just explain this diagram in a practical way. So let's recap actually. So now you created this instance, and then you created the web page here, and you're able to access that. So we achieved that, right? And then now this is publicly available. This EC2 instance is publicly available with the public domain address. So that's no good, right? We don't want our machines, our company machines, to be accessible by everybody. So the next best topic would be to see how we can put some security to it, and so that only allowed people will be able to access it, and it's not available to everybody in the world. And we'll go over all those details in the coming video. And so let's summarize. Go back to here. We did recap, and we talked about how we can use this EC2 instance by installing the Apache web server, and then we logged into EC2 instance, and we installed the Apache web server, and then we run the command to start the service by using sudo httpd service start, and then we check the status of it, and we saw that that's running. And then we come to the browser, and there we try to access the test page of the Apache web server, and we were able to see that. And then after that, we created a HTML page under /var/www/html folder, and we try to access the demo.html, and we're able to see that here like that. And then yeah, that's all we have gone through in today's video. So hope you guys like this video and I got the concept what I'm trying to explain here, the EC2 usage. So in the next session, if you go here, um, so we talked about all these basic definitions and the purpose of each type of instance. So this is pretty much covered for now. EC2 instance, you got the enough details to work with it for now. And in the next session, we'll be going over talking about the security concepts and network configuration. So they are very very important concepts. Please stay tuned for those, and hope you guys enjoyed this video. And if you like this video, please click on the like button, and please do subscribe to this channel, and you will get to see a lot more videos like this and you on variety of technologies. That's all I have for today, and I'll meet you in the next video, and have a good day. Thank you.